How's everybody doing? I wanted to do this quick video because I came in the kitchen and was gonna have a little counseling session with myself, and I thought, well, I'll just record it. Maybe someone else needs to hear this. But I have been in a really bad mood the last couple of days. And Monday, Adam and I were both just kind of in this funky mood, and obviously we can't always be in a good mood, and I'm not one of those people that's always in a good mood anyway, but I couldn't really figure out why. Like, we had this, great weekend, we didn't do anything, but I think it was just the unexpected, like I got some laundry done, then the weather was nice with the window open, the boys were playing by themselves, we got 30 minutes to watch a movie in the middle of the day, which is like a huge treat. If everyone's in a different phase of life, but if you have small kids, you know what I'm talking about. It's really hard to find time to just relax, especially when you are self-employed and you've got all the millions of things to do and you just feel like you're never done. So we kind of had a weekend like that. And then Monday we were just in a crappy mood. I can't say why, but you know what I mean. You're just kind of bickery and nothing is good, and then your attitude, your kids kind of pick up on that. And so Tuesday morning I was like, we're not gonna have a week like that. I gotta get back to how I felt the last couple of weeks, and we were pretty good. We had a lot of good moments, and so we got to get back on track. And I was like, a couple of things, the boys didn't do chapel. That kind of sets the tone for them and for us. It's 20 minutes, but it's kind of like starting your day with your gratitude journal or prayer or whatever it is, your workout. You kind of got to keep that going. So we didn't do that, and then a couple of other things. And so I was like, this is not going to happen anymore. Then our AC went out on Tuesday. I won't go into the problems of first world problems right now, but it was hot on Tuesday. Between Tuesday and Wednesday, we had to have 5 different people in and out of this house. And I was like, it is COVID-19 times. I can't even see my mom right now. And we've got trying to handle everyone wearing masks and disinfecting everything they touch and keeping people in different rooms. And finally our AC came back on, so that's a blessing. But I was just like, is this for real right now? And it is. Life still goes on. I think I was kind of treating this as a vacation the first couple weeks, because we were home and Adam isn't working and I wasn't having to be out all day long like normal, and it was honestly kind of nice. And so I don't want my Facebook posts and my Instagram stories to be fake and happy. It's not fake. We are having a lot of fun, and we are going to keep having fun. I refuse to be in a bad mood for the next however long this happens. But what I kind of recognized, I sat down and I thought about, the path that I'm about to be on, because I know myself, and that I'm about to turn into a crazy person and go down the path of being anxious and scared and worried about everything, and that's going to ruin every single day. And I'm not going to do that. But what I had to kind of go back and think about the times in my life that, not that they were challenging or hard, that's life, right? We're not here to have this easy, happy life all the time. But times that something really crazy happened out of the blue that I couldn't control, much like this coronavirus quarantine crap that we're all in. None of us can control this, really, we can't. And we've all kind of been through times of that in our life. But for me, I was thinking back on whenever I was diagnosed with kidney cancer, and how I kind of reacted to that. And, if you know me, I am a stressed out, anxious person. I'm a high, overachiever, or a high achiever, not an overachiever. I looked this up once. It's I'm a high achiever. It's not a good thing. It's you can never turn your brain off, and you're never I'm never happy, right? So I'm just every day, it's what did I do? What did I not do? What can I control? And I'm a control freak. And so when it comes to things like this, I handle them pretty well. It's shocking. But when I got kidney cancer, it was so out of the blue, and there was really nothing I could do about it except how was I going to handle it? How was I going to tell people about it without them worrying about me? And I was filled with calm and peace and just kind of task oriented, like what do I need to do to get through this? And it was really honestly a great experience if you can have one for having cancer, right? I mean, it was best case scenario. I just had to get my kidney removed. I didn't have to have treatment. I was going to be fine. And so it was great. And then I had this surgery that I did not prepare for, how painful it was going to be. It's comical, really. But I got through that. And then I remember probably a month or two later, and I was back at work and everything was normal. And I was sitting in the bathtub and I like looking at these scars that I had. I have these 5 big scars. They're not big anymore. Not that you care, but I just kind of like went into this weird like PTSD moment, right? I was like, oh my God, like what just happened to me? And what's wrong with my body? And is this gonna come back? And I had my kidney removed and I just kind of lost it. And then I lost it on my 1-year checkup. And then, I mean, this past year was 9 years and I was convinced it was back. And so I really had to recognize that, I wasn't gonna get a prize for going through this, month-long, like, oh, I'm gonna handle this really well and like I'm gonna get through it. It's really like mentally, not physically, it's really been like a marathon, not a sprint. And so that was kind of the first thing that I've been dwelling on. The second major thing that has happened completely out of the blue was my dad getting cancer, and you kind of go, through the year of treatment and all of that craziness. But when he died, I'm getting to a point here where I'm about to talk about staying in the present. But when he died, it was shocking, right? And I remember doing the same thing. Like, we got through that. The worst thing that could happen happened, and we survived it. And then the whole year of milestones, we survived it. It was hard. It was sad. You all know, you've been through this. And then the year anniversary came along, and probably for the next 6 months, I just lost it again. I couldn't believe that I had to keep doing it. Like, where was my prize for getting through the hardest year of my life, or the saddest, or whatever? And I remember, like, I don't know what I was expecting, like for him to come back or whatever. But I just remember that and that's the year that I quit my job and I got a real estate, and these great things came out of me being crazy. But I remember just that same moment of feeling like I could handle it and being peaceful and positive, and then it just like doesn't end. And so what I have found and what I'm seeing, what I think everyone is experiencing, is this open-ended mess that we're in and not knowing when it's going to be over. And like, we're all done this great job, we're all home, we're being quarantined, we're homeschooling our kids, and then it's like, wait, they can't go back in May, or the restaurant can't open back up, like our dreams are gonna crash and burn. Like, is my husband, when is he gonna get a job? Like, am I gonna be able to what's gonna happen? I mean, there's just a million things, right? And so what I have found is if I stay in the present, I'm good. And it's not new. It's nothing new. There's an article I read about this a couple weeks ago, and at the time I was like, yes, that's what I'm doing. That's what works. And basically talked about grief and all these things, but it was basically like, bring yourself to the present. And so last week, every day, I was like, we're good. We've got food and groceries, and we're spending time outside, and we get this time with our kids. And I was really focusing on the positives. And, my mom's healthy. No one I know is sick right now. Like, we're healthy. We have nothing more to worry about today. And if we can all stay in the today, that's going to save us. That's what I think. Because there's just too many unknowns and there's too many uncertainties, and anticipating the worst is going to make us all crazy. And I'm seeing so many good things come out of this, and I know everyone's going through their own journey, and so that's just a little bit of mine. But I am going to do my best to stay present and to stay in the moment and not worry about all of the what ifs, because I'm really bad once I start going down the rabbit hole, and I'm not going to let this happen to me again like it has the last couple times, where I just start freaking out about everything. But I will say that if you're watching this and you're like, well, my present sucks, like I don't want to be in the present day, and I get it, and you might be in a totally different place. The thing is, like, everyone's struggling. it doesn't really matter what phase of life you're in or what your struggles are, if they're minor or big or huge or not. Like, it doesn't matter. We're all in this together. And so I will just say that, you know, if you're at your worst and the present's really bad, I've been in that moment before with my dad, and in the worst present moment ever. And I still did better staying in that moment than when I wasn't. And so I'll explain a little bit. You know, I had left the room and I had gone off to some room to cry by myself and to be upset, and when I realized what was happening. And my brother came to find me, and I was just down the rabbit hole. I was, what's going to happen tonight? How are we going to leave the hospital? When's this going to happen? Like, what's going to happen next week? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And he was just like, we're going to go on, but let's go back in, you know. And so staying in that moment with my dad, even though it was the worst moment, was still better than trying to get out of that moment and out of the present, because it's hard. You know, Tuesday, another thing that contributed to my bad mood was I was like, I'm going to focus on something happy. I've got to reschedule this vacation I've been putting off. We're supposed to go to the beach in May. It's fine. Like, there's a million other problems going on in the world. But I was, you know, trying to reschedule it. And then I was like, so that, you know, we can have something to look forward to. And I could talk to the boys and they are ready to go back to the beach. And I was like, well, I don't know when we can reschedule it. When is this going to be over? When is it going to be safe to go? What if? And so stay in the present, stay with your people, focus on what is good. The guy that wrote the article that I'm talking about said, even if, you know, physically, if you're having a panic attack moment, to physically find like 5 items or things, put your hand on them, right? Bring yourself back. Get out of the future uncertainty, all of the fear that comes along with that. And so I'll leave you with that. Just kind of wanted to share a little bit about what's going on with me, and we're having a great day today. We got back on track. We did our stuff that we normally do, and you know, what makes me happy is checking in with people and talking to them and being really nice to my husband, because when I'm bickery, you know, I just can't stop, and I hate that because we don't ever fight. We are best friends, but like sometimes, you know, you just can't. Your bad mood just takes over, and so that's kind of my goal right now, is just to stay in the present and be thankful for the day that we're in. And I hope you guys can do the same. And I would love to pray for you. And I'm thinking about all of y'all. And just let me know if you need anything. Bye.